Hello, in this video I'm going to simulate a DR scenario where we're able to recover data that has been sent from a production PowerScale cluster to a disaster recovery target cluster. First, let's go ahead and set up our SyncIQ policy. So as you can see, I have two PowerScale clusters. I have a cluster running OneFS 9.10 and a cluster running OneFS 9.11. My 9.10 cluster is going to be my prod or source cluster. You can see right here in Windows Explorer, this is the data that I'm going to be replicating to the target cluster, and that is going to be in this directory over in this Explorer window. So let's go ahead and start our SyncIQ policy. To do that, let's go to the Data Protection tab and then SyncIQ, and then Policies. And then we're going to create a new SyncIQ policy. I'm going to name this Sync Test. We're going to do a synchronization, so this is going to, on a schedule, the default is once per day at 11 a.m. We're going to replicate our data set, which I'm going to choose right now. So within data, we're going to transfer that directory. So IFS data sync test, that is this folder right there. We're going to leave everything else default. We're going to choose our target host. So that's the IP of the target cluster, one of the nodes in it. Our target directory is going to be this directory in the target cluster. Click on next. Next again. I'm going to leave everything default here. And then finally, I'm going to hit submit. Now we can see our policy has been created. I'm going to go ahead and run the job. We should start to see some data being replicated over to the target cluster, which now we can see that it has been. And now we have a mirror of the data in the sync test directory from our source or prod cluster over on the DR cluster or target cluster. If I try to delete some of this data, it's going to not allow me. You can see that it is write protected. In the GUI, if I hop over to the DR cluster and refresh the page, I should see that the DR cluster is now a local target. Okay, so now we can see the local target on the DR cluster. Okay, now let me go ahead and simulate a DR scenario. Maybe someone got fired and just deleted everything in the share they had access to. Okay, so now all of my data on the prod cluster is now gone. So what I would need to do at this point is go ahead and allow writes on the DR cluster. So I'm connected to my 9.11 cluster. I'm going to allow writes on that cluster now. Now I would then need to direct all of my users or any devices that need to access the data on the cluster or write new data to the directory. I need to give them access and direct them toward the DR cluster. So let me go and just ensure that this is now writable. So let me go ahead and just edit this file. I'm going to go ahead and save it now. And now that we can see that this directory is editable. And I'm also going to copy some new data back onto the target directory to simulate users working normally and doing what they need to do. Okay, now let's assume that we have done whatever we needed to do to get our prod cluster back ready to receive the data back from the DR cluster. So let's go ahead and replicate the data from the target back to the prod cluster. To do that, let's hop over to the GUI for the prod cluster. From here, we need to do a resync prep job. As you can see, the job succeeded. So let's hop back over to our DR cluster, and if we go to policies, let's go and refresh. We should see a mirror job has been created. Okay, here we can see the mirror job that has been created. We're going to go ahead and run this job. So we're going to go to Start Job. Okay, and as you can see, all of the data has been replicated back over, including all of the new data that I wrote to the target cluster. If I check the file that I edited, we can see that the edits I made to the file have moved back over to the original prod or source cluster. Okay, now that we have our data back on the prod cluster, I can now set up the prod cluster to where it is read-write, and then I can direct my users back over to the prod cluster like normal. To do that, I need to, on the prod cluster, I need to go to local targets and then allow writes. Okay. Okay, now my user should be able to work off of the prod data set, off the prod cluster. Let me go ahead and save this just to ensure that I can. All right, now on my DR cluster, I need to make that read-only again. To do that, I need to go to policies and do a resync prep job on the mirror policy that was created earlier. Okay, I'm going to do a resync prep job. All right, now under local targets, my let me refresh the page, and then my local target should be set to read-only again. All right, now the DR target is read-only, and I cannot, as an end user, I cannot delete or modify any of the files. So now we are back to normal. We have successfully recovered from a disaster recovery scenario. All right, that's all I have for you fine folks. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.